Hello everyone, myself Prashant. Hope you all are doing great. This is part 2 and last part of this Haryanka Dynasty topic, right? Previously we covered part 1 of Haryanka Dynasty. So let's begin. Bimbisar was succeeded by his son Ajatashatru. Ajatashatru was also known as Kunika, and his period was from 492 BC till 460 BC, right? Ajatashatru killed his father and seized the throne. Bimbisar was his father and Ajatashatru killed him. Then second point says that Ajatashatru followed a more aggressive policy, right? He gained control over Kasi and broke the friendly relations by attacking his maternal uncle Prasenjit, who was Kosala king, right? Who was Kosal king. We can see the aggressiveness of Ajatashatru and his policy. To gain the control of Kasi, he even broke the friendly relations with his maternal uncle Prasenjit, right, who was also a Kosal king, right? Now let's move to the next slide. The Vaji Federation was Ajatashatru's next target of attack. This war was a lengthy one, and tradition tells us that after a long period of 16 years, he was able to defeat the Vaji only through deceit. Deceit means by deceiving someone or something. In Hindi it means dhokha dena, right? And how did he did this deceiving or deceit? He did this by sowing the seeds of dissatisfaction amongst the people of Vaji, right? He sowed the seeds of dissatisfaction or seeds of dissension, right, amongst the people of Vaji to increase the discontent. And this was his approach. Now let's move to the next slide. We saw that it took 16 years to finally get the Vaji into Ajatashatru's territory or in his kingdom. Even fighting went for 16 years. So what were the factors that ultimately led Ajatashatru to win Vaji? There were three factors which ultimately played an important role in defeating Vaji. So those three factors are: first is that Sunidha and Vatsakar were Ajatashatru's diplomatic ministers who sowed the seeds of dissatisfaction or discontent among Vaji. These two persons were responsible for sowing, right, for sowing seeds of dissension or dissatisfaction among Vajis, right? Now let's move to the next slide. What were the second and third important reason which ultimately led Ajatashatru to win Vaji? The second was the weaponry, right? There was this Ratha Musala. Ratha Musala was weaponry in Ajatashatru's military, and Ratha Musala was a kind of chariot to which a mace was attached, right? So here we can see Ratha Musala. So here there is this horse, there is this chariot, right? And here we can see the mace, right? You can see these four blades, right? These four blades. So this is a mace which was attached to the chariot, right? So it did mass killings, right? Whoever came in front of this mace, they all were killed, right? So this played an important role, right? Now the third point or the third important reason which led Ajatashatru to ultimately win Vaji was this weaponry, Mahasila Kantaka. So Mahasila Kantaka was a war engine which catapulted big stones, right? What does this catapulted means? So catapulted means that it basically threw big stones, right? Even like catapulted means throwing big stones, right? There is a small variant of it which is called Gulel in Hindi, right? In UP and Bihar it is called Gurdel, through which stones are thrown, right? So but this is a military version, right? It's very big and it throws huge stones over the forts, right? So this played an important role in winning Vaji. So this is what it means, and this is this Mahasila Kantika, right? Here stones were placed, right? Here stones were placed and stones were thrown to the targets, right? Stones were thrown to the targets. And catapult which we use, like normally common people use a Y-shaped, right? Catapult are Y-shaped. It's in this form, right? And here stones are placed and thrown. So this and this one is military version, right, for fighting a war. Now let's move to the next slide. So in this way we can see that Kasi and Vaisali, the capital of Vaji, were added to Magadh, making it the most powerful territorial power in the Ganges Valley or Ganga Valley, right? So it made ultimately this Magadh very powerful territory in Ganges Valley, right? Now let's move to the next point. Here it says that he built the fort of Rajgriha, which is Rajgir, right? Present day Rajgir, and it's in Bihar. For those who are not from Bihar, so it's from Bihar, and a watch fort, right? As the name suggests, it was for watching only. And watch fort was also known as Jaladurga at a village called Patali on the banks of river Ganges or Ganga, right? So he also built this Rajgriha fort and also built a watch fort, which is also known as Jaladurga, right? So this Jaladurga was built at a village called Patali, and this Patali was on the banks of river Ganga. Questions have been asked on all these points, right? Ajatashatru built fort where? So he built at Rajgriha. Ajatashatru built Jaladurga at which village? So it was Patali village on the banks of river Ganga. I have brought all the to the point which is there to the points here which have been asked previously in the exam, right? And those points on which there is a possibility of questions being asked in the exam, right? So I hope it's clear. Now let's move to the next slide. So after Ajatashatru, Udayin came, right? And his reign was from 460 BC to 440 BC, right? So Ajatashatru was succeeded by his son Udayin, right? And his reign is important because he laid the foundations of the city of Patliputra at the confluence of the Son and the Ganges and shifted the capital from Rajgriha to Patliputra. Very important point, right? So he was the person who laid the foundation of present day city Patna. Patna is also known as Patliputra. So he was the person, Udayin founded present day city Patna, right? At that time it was called Patliputra. Even today there is this Patliputra place in Patna, right? And obviously it was founded at the confluence of Son and Ganga and shifted the capital from Rajgriha to Patna. Earlier capital was Rajgriha, and during Udayan time it was Patliputra, right? So first capital of Haryanka Dynasty or Magadh Empire was Rajgriha, right? And it shifted to Patna for the first time during Udayan period. You need to know all these points, right? These all points are interrelated and questions are asked. Now Udayan was succeeded by some weak rulers who were Anuruddha, right? Then Munda, then Nagadhasak, right? So respectively who all were weak rulers. So they all were weak rulers after Udayin. So Udayin was one of the last important rulers of Haryanka dynasty, right? So I guess here this Haryanka dynasty is completed, right? Later on we will see Susunaga dynasty, and thereafter we will see Nanda dynasty, and after Nanda dynasty Mauryan dynasty will come, and we will see the Mauryan dynasty in detail, since it is a very important topic, right? So thank you for your time. I hope you learned, and you learned something from this video and enjoyed while learning. So thank you again. Thank you so much.